Lone young men are the dominant tribe, many attracted to the city's louche underworld, whether as players, punters, voyeurs or reporters.
I do stories that can be seen of a negative nature. That's my job. Yes, there is a sex industry here. Yes, there's drugs here, but get over it.
Jonathan Taylor is a 35-year-old British photographer. He roams the streets with a pack of Thai journalists sniffing out depravity, the sex trade, drug dealers, and if they're lucky, a murder. For 4 months, Jonathan has been working on a story about a highly addictive new drug.
I don't want to get any incident that could be related to my methamphetamine story. But if there's a homicide or if there's something else crop up, I'll cover it. It might be of use at later time for another story that I'm on. But primarily, I'm just trying to cover my one story and see what happens. It's Friday night, it's 11 o'clock. It's kind of likely that there's something might turn up. Ever since I was 14, I've known that I've wanted to be a photographer, right? It's been a dream of mine. The only thing I've ever wanted to do is take pictures. About 8 or 9 years ago, I was travelling through India and Nepal and Southeast Asia, and I kind of fell in love with the whole Asian scene, you know. I always missed the pace of either London or Bangkok. But in all honesty, I think Bangkok probably beats London for its pace and speed. I think that's what I love about the place, is the speed of the place.
The Thai paparazzi tune into the police scanners in an attempt to get to the tragedy before the authorities arrive.
It seems that some lady's shot her husband. We're not sure if the guy's died yet or he's been rushed to the hospital. If it's related to any of the stories that I'm working on, then I can use it. If it's not, then I'll just hang back and then go back to sleep. I still take pictures just until I really know what it's all about.
Jonathan times it to perfection. Unfortunately, his subject only makes it as far as casualty. This is an every-night drama and everyone's been here before. Unlike in the West, the police make no attempt to protect the dead person's dignity. They almost act as stage managers, clearing the way for the posse of photographers to make the most of the blood-soaked corpse.
Not sure what's happening, obviously. The guy's been shot, he's dead. I haven't collected any information about it yet. When you've got your camera, you've got a sense of not really being there and not really realising, but maybe you're in a difficult situation or sometimes even a dangerous situation. You've got a buffer between you and what's happening. I mean, it can't be a big enough buffer where you lose empathy with what's happening, right? They get so used to it that they can smile on the scene, you know what I mean? But it still upsets me. This guy's not directly related to it, but he's the guy that took the body into the hospital, right? He's saying really he's got nothing to do with it, but, you know, I mean, just look at the blood on him, right? It's got something to do with it. I haven't been to a murder scene for a while now, and it's upsetting, right?
Jonathan retires happy, having bagged his prey just as the rest of the city is waking up. Photographer Jonathan Taylor speaks Thai fluently and probably has more contact with the locals than most other expats. Yet even he remains an outsider, an observer. His everyday life continues to take him to the most desperate parts of the city. He's entering a slum area to photograph drug use. All the people he's been photographing are using a highly addictive new drug called mad medicine. It's the new drug of choice for most of the bar girls in the city's strip clubs. Jonathan has spent 3 months in this risky area in a bid to win their trust. In Britain, this would be a front-page story, but Jonathan will be lucky if he sells the pictures at all.
This boy has just shocked me by telling me that he started to smoke this from the age of 7 years old. He's now 14 years old, and he's now selling it. He sells about 40 tablets a day. And he smokes about 20 a day, which is a huge amount. As you can see, I mean, this guy here is very slim, you know. He's kind of slim, but some people are extremely skinny because it takes away your appetite. You don't sleep. I'm just trying to illustrate people's life, sometimes in adversity, sometimes struggling against the problems that they might come across, sometimes making a mess of their lives. All I'm doing is getting enough money behind me to do my next job. So yeah, no, I'm never going to give up on being a photographer because that's what I am. That's what I do. It's not my job, it's what I am.
Bangkok-based British photographer Jonathan Taylor has first-hand experience of the Yaba epidemic and its consequences.
Well, the police changed it from horse medicine to crazy medicine. It used to be called horse medicine because people used it and then they could work like a horse. Long-distance truck drivers used to use it to be able to haul long distances. I started photographing homicides here. I did it for a magazine piece. I went to near enough every homicide in Bangkok in a month. And I noticed that I reckon about 30 to 40% was Yaba related. The police are very accommodating in Thailand as well. You can get as close to a crime scene as you need to be. In fact, I got a bit too close to this guy. He'd been shot through the head, and one of the body collectors wanted to collect the body, and he's tapping my leg, and I couldn't work out why while I was standing on the guy's skull that had been blasted out the back of his head, which isn't nice. Here's one of the shots I've got, someone smoking the drug. They use a cigarette packet and then cut the foil from the cigarette packet into strips. The paper from the cigarette packet is then rolled into a little pipe, and the lighters are adapted so that the flame is really small.
Yaba comes in many colours, but is often red. Its casual use was evident from watching the smokers that Jonathan now led the cameras to.
Never more than 20 tablets a day, but it depends how much they want on a daily basis. When they smoke it, it gives them the power to go out and work and do whatever, but when they stop, it's like they're dead.
The Yaba epidemic is fierce, but very senior members of the United Nations fear it could get much worse.